Morning, guys. We're on chapter 8, Revelation. We're on the second trumpet, and we're looking at the judgments of God being poured out on earth. And people often say, why does sin reign? Why do evil people get away with much? And it's only because of God's grace and mercy that evil people prosper. But God is all the time calling people out to repent and to turn to Jesus. But there will be a time when the judgment will be poured out in great fury. And as we read last time, the first trumpet, already a third of the earth is burnt up. So whether that's in the form of volcanoes and lava burning up the grass, or whether it's a whole lot of asteroids being thrown down from the skies, the fact is a third of the trees are demolished, a third of the earth, and it says all the grass. So you can imagine no grass for animals and cows to eat. Absolute destruction on earth's food supply. And now, just as folk are running around in absolute fear, in Luke 21 it talks about when the earth gets shaken, when the heavens get shaken, men faint with fear. There's absolute fear and pandemonium on earth at this stage as these trumpets get blown. And so on the second trumpet it says, the second angel sounded, this is verse 8, and sounded, and something like a great mountain burning with fire was thrown into the sea, and a third of the sea became blood, and a third of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and a third of the ships were destroyed. So the land was taken, and now the sea creatures get taken. And this looks like a massive, whether it's I don't know if it's a comet, because a comet is like a burning gas, or if it's a massive asteroid or whatever, but it's something very, very big lands in the ocean. And you can imagine, if you have an earthquake and you have the plates shifting, and you get these big earthquakes that cause these tsunamis. And we've seen in the past asteroids hitting and taking out places, but nothing as big as this. This is a massive big mountain, as it says here, that hits into the sea and causes this huge tsunami which takes out a third of all the ships. So you can imagine what disaster that would bring. And then a third of all the fish. So there's another food supply that's been hit by this huge mountain that comes down into the sea. And now we're on to the third trumpet, and it says in verse 10, the third angel sounded, and a great star fell from heaven. So something else big coming from the heavens, coming down to destroy the earth, burning like a torch, like the previous one. As it comes into the atmosphere, whether it's a comet or whether it's some kind of asteroid or mountain, it would be burning as it comes in. And this one, it says, fell on a third of the rivers and on the springs of water. The name of the star is called Wormwood, and a third of the waters became wormwood, and many men died from the waters because they were made bitter. And wormwood is like a bitter herb, and it's a poison. So this star, with all its poisonous gases and whatever, comes into the atmosphere, and it destroys a third of all the water sources. And so now you can imagine all the grass gone, a third of the earth, a third of the sea creatures, and now the last of our water supply gone by this huge star. And it says there, many died from this. So as they drank the water, this poison, they would die. So imagine the desperation now with the food drying up and now your water drying up. So you can picture how Luke 21 says, when men faint with tears. So there's a dreadful, dreadful judgment coming. And we mustn't ever think, oh, God's just turning a blind eye to sin. Things will come to a climax. Yes, he's patient. Yes, he's waiting. But we need to be ready, and we need to be in Jesus. And so even today, This should really grip our hearts with fear as we consider what is about to happen on earth. So I trust that you will look to the Lord for comfort today, and I pray that you have a good day. God bless.